Hey everybody, welcome back to Plum Figgy. This is Tammy. Alright, so we are going to prep our book for the December daily for 2025. And to be honest with you, have no idea what this book is really about. They were giving away career related, HR related books at my job this last year, and I was like, ooh, nobody's going to care about this one. This one's a good size for a junk journal altered book. And I thought the blue was nice for the cover. It's a nice looking cover. And actually the green kind of works pretty good for the inside for Christmas. So we'll see if it stays that color by the end. But either way, so alright, so this book has a lot of empty pages at the end. 300 and let's say 55, 60 pages. I want to say that my one that I did for 2020 had a few more pages than that. I did take out 8 pages in between. And so I'm thinking I'm going to probably start with taking out 5 pages in between. And see how that goes. I already know that this spine is not going to do it. It's going to be too small. It's going to be a huge gator mouth by the end, but I don't care. I think it's going to be a fun one. So when you're doing an altered book like this, what I've learned is you should really keep, well, probably 5 pages, but I'm going to keep 4 because we're cutting down on the number of pages to remove. So 4 pages, I guess, probably not including this. I don't know. So, but I'm gonna count this as my 4. So, or one of my 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 at the end and 4 at the beginning. 1, and I'll remember. Let's see. Maybe I'll give myself a bookmark here. I'll just stick that in there so I know. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so the other thing to look for when you're doing this kind of book, you can do sewn in signatures. It will work. You just got to be a lot more careful, and it may need some book surgery throughout. I mean, even this one might need some book surgery. It all depends. This one I can tell you it's new enough. It's been glued. The signatures have been glued in and not sewn in. If you're doing a sewn in one, you're just going to have to do more work to figure out where the middle page is. So the way you would figure that out is you could see the stitching in here, and so if I've done those, I always start in the middle. Of that signature where I can see the threads. I always know how many pages I want to take out. And it has to be an even number, because if you take out, let's say, this side of the stitched page, guess what? This one doesn't have anything to hold on to anymore now. So you've got to take out this one too. So what I'll do then is I'll take out the 2 middle ones, keep one in, and then pull out, like, let's say this one and then this one. And let's say we were only taking out 4 pages. Well, I've now taken out my 4 pages. So then you would move on to find your next signature, the middle of your signature, and do it like that. Okay, so if you're using a sewn in signature book, that's the process that you would use. And actually, depending on the number of pages your book has, what you could do that might help you out is count how many actual pages there are in the signature on either side of the sewing in the middle, and then that'll help you know how many to take out. Okay, in this case these are glued in. I already know that. You can't see any sewing or anything, so I'm counting my 4 pages again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, now this is going to be the first page of, I may or may not glue some of these together, just for sturdiness. Sometimes it's kind of good to glue the first few pages together, and I don't know, it just kind of helps. So as I go along, I'm going to decide how I want my signatures to be. If I want, let me get my pencil out. If I want to have a top loading pocket, a side loading pocket, if I want layered pockets horizontally on just one side, on both sides. Do I want to have a pocket like this on one side, on both sides? So that's kind of how I'm going to go about prepping my journal here. So this will be page 1, spread 1. I'm going to do this first. I'm going to do an angled pocket like this. Okay, so we're going to keep this page as it is, and then in the middle of here we're going to take out now 4 pages. Try and get your tear as close to the middle as possible. Try not to have a lot of overhang if you can absolutely help it. Depending on where you are in your book, pulling papers out, you may turn it upside down and start tearing from the other direction, because these books sometimes just tend to have a mind of their own. So we're at 3 now, and this will be 4. Yeah, as you can see, I'm already having a little trouble pulling some of these. They're not coming out in straight lines, and I've already got a little bit of overhang here. So okay, so this will be page 1 or spread 1, and what I'll do is, to hide all this tearing, this will be the back page of this pocket. So we're going to keep these 2 pages, and then I could keep this page if I wanted to. That is the beauty of using one that's been glued in, the signatures have been glued in. I could keep this as a full page spread, and we could well, what do I want to do? Okay, so this will be like this. I can already see there's some overhang here. This is going to be a problem with how I glue this ultimately. I think I'll keep this as it is, and maybe let's keep this one. And I'm going to take out 4 pages now. 1, 2, 3, 4. And another way you can do this, if you don't want to decide your pockets right away and you just want to kind of tear pages out, you can totally do that. I'm going to rearrange my desk here because I want to put these off to the side, and I've got other stuff. I don't have any room. I have no room to put anything. Let's see. Let's put this just here and then there. Okay. Now I have some more room. Okay, so what was I saying? If you want to not decide your pockets right away, you can go ahead and do that. I tend to prefer to decide my pockets and how I want things to go right away. I'm going to do a right pocket. That's a terrible arrow. A right facing pocket here. So this will be the middle. I've pulled out my 4. So we need to keep this as the back for this pocket. And let's do, I want to keep this as the back, and then I'm going to do another diagonal pocket on this side. So if you didn't want to do your pockets right away, go ahead and just tear out your pages and then come back through. It's a little tricky though, because as you can see, I'm deciding on the fly which pages I need to keep and which ones I don't want to keep. So like, for example, I maybe would have torn this page out, but now I have more options because I've decided to do it the way that I did. So, okay, well that's folded now, and I guess we'll just work with the way that it is. So then this will be the opposite side for that. And we'll just leave this one as it is. That'll be a great empty page. So let's take out 4. 1, 2. See? I'm going to tear from the bottom maybe. Nope. 3. You can do this if you want. 4. Okay. So there was this page. Now we have this page. I'm gonna do a side loading pocket like this. Okay, get my ruler out because I don't want to mess that up any worse than I already have. Alright, so there's that. Now, I could even do another one, even skinnier than that. That's an awfully skinny pocket, but why not? Let's go ahead and do that. Try and get it as straight as you can. Okay, it's not straight at all. It's terrible, actually. So I'm actually gonna pull that out. I don't wanna deal with that. Yeah, that's not. That's okay. So this will be two pages. Let me try this again. 3. And 4. Okay, now on this, so this will be the back side of that. This, let's go ahead and do, I guess, a top loading pocket there. And then on this side, let's do a side pocket here. I don't think I've ever done that before. And again, I don't think I did that straight. I'll use my ruler instead. There we go. Okay. So here we'll have a pocket, but I need to take out my 4 pages after this pocket now. So 1. Come on. 2. Turn this around. 3. And there we go. 4. Okay. So now we've got the back side for this pocket. So as you can see, all the ones that I'm leaving are nice and clean, and I'm using my pockets to hide the places where we've pulled the papers out. So that'll be that spread. Okay, so how about we do a top loading pocket there. I need to do this lower down because now I'm going to have to cover that up. Okay, that's fine. So now we're going to take 4 pages out. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we've got a top loading pocket. Alright, and so I have to keep this. So I'm actually going to keep this page, and I'm going to do a page where we've got 2 angled pockets. So that'll go there, and then this one will go here. And I'm going to try and match these up as close as I can. Well, maybe it doesn't matter too much because I'm going to cover that anyway, so that's fine. Alright, so there's that. Now I'm going to take out 4 from here. Is that 4? Yeah, we'll say that's 4. Okay, so now I'll have a page like this, and we have to, oops, careful, we have to keep this page, and let's do, okay, so we're keeping this page, let's do a left facing pocket and a right facing pocket. So now I'll take out 4 pages. So you kind of get the idea. I'm going to go ahead and go on fast forward now and kind of keep going with this, and I'll meet you back at the end. can see, we have a much thinner book now. Not everything was done perfectly, and that'll be okay. It is a little wonky. I am a little worried about the size of this the spine, but at the end of the day we'll figure it out. So I should have enough for the entire month here. If I don't, I guess I'll figure that out too. But as you can see, I've got quite the stack of leftover pages, which I'm going to keep and use in, you know, various ways as glue pages, or some of these are good, they're blank, or they have a blank side, so I can tea dye those and use those in future journals. So, alright, at this point now, I typically prefer to work in older books like this for this kind of a thing, mostly because their pages are already aged and distressed looking, and as you can see, these definitely are not. So I think what I'm going to do is brew some tea, and I'm just going to go ahead and paint these pages with some tea and tea dye them. Maybe some coffee, actually. That might be better. Well, I don't know. I think all my paper that I'm using is tea dyed, so maybe I'll do tea. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera, and next time we are together, you will see this being tea dyed and ready to work in. So I guess you'll see this next time on December 1st. So alright guys, hopefully if you've been wanting to know how to prep a book for to do an altered book like this, hopefully that has helped. I guess I will say, if this is the only video you're going to see for this kind of thing and you're ready to start gluing your flaps down and your pages together, I guess I could do that. I don't need to have these hanging out. I'll go ahead and do that on my own. But at this point then, you would glue just one line. You don't need to glue all this here, because you're already going to be adding so much bulk to this thing that really if you use a nice glue like art glitter glue or strong glue, then you won't need to do all the insides of this. It'll show through and all this. So I'll do that first, and then as I'm going through and decorating my journal, I'm not actually going to glue all these pockets down right away, because what I like to do is figure out with my page, let me get, oh, I don't have anything. Okay, here, let's pull this out. Okay, so let's say I wanted this design and I wanted this whole picture to show. So what I would do is line it up here, cut off, well, first I would line it up here, cut off and mark, and ideally this would be the height of the, of the book. Mark where your line needs to go. So I usually just mark a little tick there, and then I'll mark another tick down here to mark on here where I need to rip or cut. And then from that you would have basically this triangle left here, and before I glue this down, I will glue that down back there. So now you have a continuous page. That's how I do it. And as you watch me in this series, you'll see how I do that exactly. And once you've got that done, because you don't need this this is all wasted, you're never going to see any of that, so why not use it here? So once you've got that glued down, then you can come here, and again, obviously this is a pocket, so you're not going to glue in there, but you only need one thing there of glue, and you do not need to, don't put glue in here. The more glue that you put in here, the worse your book is going to end up, because your spine needs room to move and shimmy and work along with what you're adding to your book here. So don't do that. And then don't so once you add your glue there, don't close your book like this. Don't close it from the back to the front. You got to close it from the front to the back. You don't have to close it all the way, but enough that you can get that to stick. If you don't do it like that, your pages are all going to be all kinds of wonky. Trust me on this. I've made that mistake. My book was unusable. At the end of the day, I couldn't use it, and I ended up having to just take out the entire middle and just use the cover for it. So especially at the beginning pages, so remember here I said I'm probably going to have an issue with this because it's perfect here, but once I move, do you see? There's all this play right here. And actually, I might just change how this one is. I might not even do this type of pocket on this one. They seem to be better once you kind of get into the middle. I'm actually going to make that choice right now. So, yeah, let's just do a, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do a top loading pocket on this one. So once you start getting past the first few spreads, then these kind of work a little better. And to be honest, sometimes they never will. In my 2020 journal, I had a whole spread like this where I just, at the end of the day, I just decided I can't glue these down because everything was shifting so much that it just wouldn't work. I was so much warping and issues. And that's just because that's the way that the book was. It wasn't really how I had done it. I mean, the books, they're not meant to be worked on like this. So you got to, kind of take that into consideration, I guess. But all right, guys. So hopefully this was helpful, and yeah. So I'm excited to get decorating, and I hope you are too. And you're hopefully excited for December this year. Hoping we have a nice Christmas this year. So, all right, guys. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.